I'm Kenny Love. Thanks for taking a few brief moments to listen to this very important public service message for all parents, child care providers, and anyone who cares about the safety and welfare of children. Now, I want to be upfront and tell you that this is not a pleasant subject, and you are likely to find its statistics disturbing, but it is a grim reality that I feel certain you will agree desperately needs to be eliminated. I want to let you know about a special report that is absolutely free and will cost you absolutely nothing, but it will enable and empower you to provide maximum safety, security, and protection for your child. This report is titled Protect Your Child from Kidnappers and has been specially created by an individual who is a former police officer, a former two-time adult prison correctional officer, a former sergeant of juvenile corrections officers, a former Boys and Girls Club of America director, and a former Army sergeant. In fact, it is absolutely vital that every parent review this report that will provide around-the-clock protection for your child. But first, I want to give you some startling statistics about child abduction and kidnapping. Every 40 seconds in the United States, a child is reported missing. 1.5 million children go missing each year. Of all child kidnapping victims, 40% are killed, 4% are never found, and 71% are taken by a complete stranger. Most abductions occur within a quarter mile of a victim's home. 32% of child abductions take place on a street or in a car, while another 25% of abductions take place in a park or a wooded area. In 46% of child abductions, almost half, the child is sexually assaulted. More than 70% of kidnapping victims are girls. 75% of kidnapping children are murdered within 3 hours of their abduction. In a recent study, nearly 75% of the parents surveyed said they fear their child may be abducted sometime in the future. So, where do these predators prey on children? Well, if you answer cities and metropolitan areas, you're only partially correct. But there are also other areas that come to mind that most people never consider. And those areas are suburbs, small towns, and rural areas where children's safety can often be at an even greater risk because of the perceived quietness and inactivity of the smaller areas and its assumed lesser amount of criminal presence compared to that of major metro areas. So don't be fooled into thinking that these areas are safe havens, because these particular criminals are also aware of this relaxed mindset of citizens in smaller areas, and as such, smaller areas often prove to be a greater resource for child abduction and kidnappers. Now, have you ever walked or driven through a neighborhood, and possibly even your own neighborhood, to see small children playing in their front yards or riding bicycles or tricycles down the sidewalk with no parent or adult guardian anywhere to be seen or in sight? Now, in this particular situation, kidnappers can easily drive by, grab the child, and take off quickly, whether a parent is watching from inside or not. And if the parent is watching the abduction, by the time the parent has settled down enough from the shock to call 911, the abductor has long sped away and is long gone. With front yard abductions, which are quite common in cities, I always find myself asking why the child was not playing in the backyard. Now, believe it or not, right now, at this very moment, there are children being watched by some individual or group of individuals who are plotting and planning kidnapping for religious sacrifices, child slavery, child prostitution, and even murder. And as a result, the questions that you must constantly ask yourself without fail are, is my child the one who is being watched right now by some bad person? Is my child at risk of being abducted? Have I done all I can to protect and save the life of my child? If my child were abducted, would I ever see him or her alive again? Now go back and review to which questions you can answer yes, no, or I'm not sure. Are you comfortable with the answers? Does your child walk to or from school? Does he or she walk with friends or alone? What about public parks? Do you allow your child to go to the public park alone? If so, is your public park always highly populated with people, or are there days or times that few people are in it? Most times that I can count, I have witnessed children still playing in public parks at dusk and later, when the park is virtually vacant. And as you can imagine, public parks are a vital resource for child abduction and kidnapping, particularly when they are practically vacant. Is fear for your child's safety every waking moment any way to live? Let me answer that. No, it is not. And this report shows you what you must do right now and how to do it to ensure that your child is never kidnapped, abducted, or worse, killed by criminals whose primary purpose is to destroy children. On our website, you will read a number of wonderful comments and testimonials by people who have already benefited from this special report, because unfortunately, there are people in the world who want to and sadly like to hurt innocent children. Sadly, but truthfully, much of this lack of protection that ends with children being abducted is due to a lack of awareness by parents that particular elements exist within our society, specifically to offend children. But you can instead take an appropriate and necessary actions and steps right now that are vital by providing the greatly needed prevention in advance at this very moment. Protect your child from kidnappers can be the difference between life and death of a child. But as a parent, do you ever worry over the possibility that your child could become abducted? On the other hand, perhaps you have never given it a single thought. But it is very real, and the reality is that it can happen to any of us, regardless of where we live. Protect your child from kidnappers provides vital actions and steps you must take right now to ensure that your child never becomes an unfortunate, victimized statistic of this ongoing, horrific, deadly crime, but always remains safe, secured, and protected regardless of where he or she is. I strongly feel that you will find this report very enlightening, self-empowering, and reassuring. And perhaps best of all at this point is that I am making it available to you for free. That's right, this powerful insider information is available to you absolutely no cost free. So please don't delay any further, procrastinate, or take another risky second in chancing that your child may become abducted or kidnapped, with it bringing you a lifetime nightmare of sorrow. Get the immediate relief, protection, safety, security, and peace of mind that you will find that only this information can truly bring instantly to you, your child, and your entire family. Because your child cannot fend for himself or herself against all of the negative elements that await to prey on helpless children. And as such, it is our full responsibility and duty as parents to provide their ultimate safety and security as best we can against such vile social dangers as child abduction and kidnapping that await them at the first opportunity. Now, you can either download this report to your computer or you can read it online at our website without downloading it. But whatever method you choose to read it, by all means, please read it. And equally importantly, please consider passing it along to other members of your family, friends, and associates. As I stated at the beginning of this message, and as you are now aware, this is not a pleasant subject, but it is a reality, because there are thousands of children who are already victims, as well as thousands more who will become victims. But again, your child doesn't have to become a victim. So eliminate the possibility right now. In advance, I want to thank you for your valuable time, and most importantly, for your adding another very important tool and layer of protection in the interest of increasing and in maximizing safety and security for your child. Thank you.